Hey guys, it's Hank here. You know, I'm all about men's overall health and fitness. Today, I'm going to bring you a video, and in this video, we're going to be talking about what is the best exercise that you can do to basically last longer with a female companion or male companion, whatever it may be. Today, we're going to be breaking down a paper that actually shows that with this specific type of exercise, you can have a dramatic improvement in the basically how long you can last. The paper is a 2-week high intensity interval training intervention improves ejaculation control among men with premature ejaculation. So that's what we're going to be breaking down today. So before we get started, we have to break down some definitions. So guys, premature ejaculation, it kind of has a wide spectrum, but in this paper, the way that they describe it is defined as an inability to control the timing of ejaculation and short ejaculation latency time, meaning from the time pee-pee enters vajayjay, like that time is very short. Typically, guys, we're talking about like 30 to 60 seconds. It is important. These aren't just guys that are like, oh, I only lasted 10 minutes and I want to last an hour because I watched too much porn. No, like this is real guys. And guys, unlike size issues with like every guy gets all worked up about, oh, am I big enough? Actually, in this paper here, almost a quarter of women reported that the men's ejaculation problem previously led to relationship breakups. Almost 23% women are actually dumping men who cannot last long enough. This is a serious issue within the men's community. What causes it? If you have not seen my video about like how to last longer, please check out that video for a lot more details and a breakdown as things as far as like the different diagnostic like definitions and how to treat it. Everything from like medication to pelvic floor stretches, etc. But specifically in this study, what they were looking at is what we call sympathovagal overactivation. So what does that mean? Basically, so you have your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nerve systems. When it comes to men's reproduction, your parasympathetic system is what's responsible for actually getting an erection, and your sympathetic system is what's responsible for an ejaculation. What they are hypothesizing is when the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems get out of balance, it leads to things like premature ejaculation. And there's actually been prior studies that have demonstrated that men with premature ejaculation have basically a hypersensitive or an overactive sympathetic nervous pathway. A lot of you guys might remember me talking about the sympathetic nervous pathway because that same sympathetic nervous pathway is actually what's responsible for things like heart flaccid. And what they've also demonstrated in prior studies is that when they monitored men's heart rates over a 24-hour period, the men that had premature ejaculation typically had higher heart rates because your higher heart rate indicates higher sympathetic nerve function compared to those with higher parasympathetic nerve function, which is the rest and digest pathway, have lower heart failure. So sympathetic is like fight or flight. Parasympathetic is rest or digest. Fun facts. Why are they experimenting with exercise in the first place? Well, guys, there was a study that actually demonstrated that even something as simple as light walking over 12 weeks increased the parasympathetic nerve function and actually was able to decrease heart rates, decrease sympathetic activity, and improve like autonomic nervous system function. Why specifically HIIT? There's actually been studies that have shown that HIIT cardio can actually improve that the parasympathetic to sympathetic ratio, meaning improved parasympathetic function and decreased sympathetic nerve function. So they basically hypothesized, since your sympathetic pathway is what's responsible for increasing your heart rate, if they can basically force you to have like this not falsely elevated, but increase your heart rate through vigorous activity, you could actually learn to better control your sympathetic nerve function and have better parasympathetic innervation to help lower your heart rate back to its normal resting state. So what did they do? Well, they actually had basically 92 Chinese men in this study, and they had two groups. So one group had the premature ejaculation, and they were basically put in either the control where nothing happened or the HIIT cardio group. And then they had a different group of guys, the control group, that did not have premature ejaculation. And they were put into a group where half of them basically did HIIT cardio and the other half didn't. They looked at basically all four of these groups. I won't say there's a lot of discrepancies, but what exactly defines HIIT cardio? Well, in this study specifically, because these weren't like trained athletes, guys, these were just kind of your average Joes, which typically are couch potatoes. What they looked at was a 7-minute basically HIIT cardio workout that was done every day in the morning from days 1 to 14, but sometime between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. The HIIT exercises included jumping jacks, wall squats, push-ups, crunches, sit-ups, squats, triceps dips, planks, high knee runs, lunges, side planks, and push-ups with rotations. Each exercise lasted for 30 seconds, followed by a break of 10 seconds. So what they did was they did some sort of high intensity, like squats and then jumping jacks for 30 seconds. And they would set a timer. When the timer would go off, then they would rest for 10 seconds. Then they would repeat it again. And they would do that for 7 minutes. I don't know. Maybe you guys think that's not very long. Maybe you think it is, but I guarantee you, if you were to do this workout, it would feel longer than 7 minutes. Trust me, guys. Anybody that's done a workout class, a cardio class, knows that, especially with things like Tabata. Now, during these workouts, the heart rates were monitored basically before the workout and immediately after the workout, as well as kind of their resting heart rate. With the guys who weren't doing this, they just had their heart rate checked twice a day. What did they find? Well, guys, before we go over that, so guys, what they found is that the guys that did HIIT cardio, especially the guys with premature ejaculation that did HIIT cardio, had a significant improvement as far as their ability to delay ejaculation when they used HIIT cardio. And for the most part, and this was pretty interesting too, the guys that did not claim that they had premature ejaculation, doing additional HIIT cardio didn't make that much of a difference. And one could almost argue it made a negative difference, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So the biggest thing that made the difference as far as lasting longer was the actual heart rate. So the max number your heart rate got to during your workout, it's dramatically correlated with how much improvement you are going to have as far as that ejaculation latency period. So what do I mean by that? So basically, the guys that were doing HIIT cardio and going balls to the wall and getting that heart rate up into the 140s, 150s, 160s, 170s, even 180s, like my heart rate can get up to sometimes, those are the guys that had the best improvement. But the guys that maybe were doing their workouts, but maybe weren't pushing it as hard as they absolutely could, like you're supposed to in HIIT cardio, they did not have nearly as much of an improvement as far as the premature ejaculation. And this was seen in both the guys with premature ejaculation and the guys without it. When that HIIT cardio was done and their heart rate was really pushed, that's when you saw the improvement. And guys, this is the point that I can't stress enough. When these guys that are normally couch potatoes actually got up and actually started moving their body and doing exercise and actually losing weight and feeling better about themselves, it started this positive cycle where, number one, they actually had better improvement in their ability to delay ejaculation. So they felt better about their sexual confidence. And then number two, they started to feel better because they were moving their bodies and actually starting to develop some lean muscle mass and losing their fat. It starts this positive cycle where you feel better about yourself, you feel more confident, and because you feel more confident, you can actually go out and talk to girls and actually get laid, rather than, because guys, there is a correlation between increased guys that actually pleasure themselves and premature ejaculation. There's a direct correlation with that. Not only were these guys having improved self-image, but they also had improved erectile function. I want to read this for you guys. HIIT intervention improved not only general body satisfaction, but also sexual body image, which was consistent with the previous studies. In addition, better sexual body image was associated with better ejaculation control and erectile function. So it's making a difference overall. So I can't stress enough to you guys that want to get bigger downstairs, but I'm not trying to fat shame, but slobs, but you're not working out, you're not dieting, you're not eating right. There is a positive correlation. You have to get out, get off the couch, put down the fork and start moving. Stop eating fries and burgers every night, at least in the United States, and actually get out and just start doing something, guys. Start moving your body. Go for walks, go for jogs, play tennis, play basketball, whatever it may be. It's going to start a positive cycle that is going to improve your life. And they even comment in this study that some of the men in the participation trial actually had improvement in their testosterone levels as well. So what are some of the flaws in the study? Well, one of the flaws in the study is that the best premature ejaculation data comes from when guys actually time themselves. And I know that's kind of weird and gets you out of the mood because it's like, all right, go, and then, all right, stop. And, it's hard to actually get objective data with that. But a lot of guys grossly underestimate and sometimes overestimate how long they last. This was a study that basically said, how much do you feel you suck at this on a scale from 1 to 5? That's literally what I believe the chess index was as far as how they viewed their own erectile function. And the interesting flaw in this study that they also saw was that in some of the men without premature ejaculation that did specifically this HIIT cardio, they actually had slightly worsened erectile latency. The way that they just basically explain this was that they kind of can't. And what they said is interesting. They said, it's hard to explain this opposite result. In addition, the observed increase in the PE symptoms in men without PE, meaning premature ejaculation, was small and unstable. The results may be random variation. I don't think that that's real, guys. You are not going to last short or last even less because you do HIIT cardio. It's going to be the exact opposite. So guys, what has been my experience? Well, I haven't necessarily been doing specifically HIIT cardio, but I had been falling off the wagon a little bit as far as my fitness journey. And recently I actually got back into it, and I've been back doing cardio at least 6, if not 7 days a week. And it's actually been almost exactly 2 weeks, which is kind of funny. And what I have noticed is that intercourse, guys, it's a stamina game, at least if you do it right. You are using your muscles and you're actually burning quite a bit of calories when you're engaged in it. What I have noticed is that, previously, especially depending on like what the position was, is that I would have to like stop and take a break. And sometimes when you have to stop and take a break to like catch your breath, for example, or because your arms get tired or something, that can help to recover your latency period or help prevent you from like busting. Now that I can actually go like longer without stopping, in some ways it almost, definitely won't say it makes me last shorter, but because like physical endurance is no longer the limiting step, I can like keep going and going and going. Bottom line is intercourse definitely way better since I've been better in shape, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. I can't say that in my personal experience as somebody who does not have premature ejaculation that it made like a game-changing difference and I can last twice as long. I think a lot of you guys that are out of shape doing HIIT cardio, I think it will significantly make you last longer. But I think for you guys that are already in decent shape and already do some decent cardio, just adding in HIIT cardio isn't gonna completely revolutionize it. But I do think it's a pretty effective way, especially for somebody that is not in the best shape, to really kind of jumpstart their physical performance. So just once again, the key is that when you do HIIT cardio, you have to get it. I mean, balls to the wall, guys. Like, get that heart rate up. Don't be like me and wearing these analog watches, or is that even the right term? These traditional timepieces. Get something like an Apple Watch or a smart watch where you can actually monitor your heart rate, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and just get a watch like this, and actually you can count your pulse that way, which is what I do sometimes. So guys, like as I start putting out a little bit more fitness content, what I want you all to know is that, like, once again, you are enough just as you are, but you need to be the best version of yourself. You're only shortchanging yourself if you don't maximize yourself, whether it be fitness, financial, personality, whatever it may be. Guys, like just be the best version of yourself that you can be. But remember, guys, there's nothing wrong with self-improvement, but you are enough just as you are. That's going to do it for this one. I appreciate if you take the time to just leave a like on this video. It would mean a lot. If you're looking for any of my incredible supplements, they're available in the links in the description below. Merch, baby, Acorn Gang merch. Acorn Gang, gang is available also in the description below. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, guys. Peace and love.
Dr. Hank got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah.